Hello, I just want to share some information about our national convention trips and hopefully shed some light on some of the questions that you might have. We talk about our nationals trips often because they're often some of the highlights of the year for us and for the students. Really special trips. So, to qualify for one of our national convention trips, students in the program need to attend a journalism summer camp over the summer, or do something equivalent. So there's another video explaining a lot of those camp opportunities, so I'm not going to get into that. We do have a camp here at school, but the camp that qualifies for students to go on these trips is a camp outside of the FHN one that we host. So as long as they go to those camps and successfully spend their time there. We always joke about not getting kicked out, but I guess it's not a joke. So they need to complete their camp experience. Then they can join us on one of these trips. The equivalent would be something like an internship at the Post-Dispatch, or a shadowing experience potentially with a professional journalist somewhere. There's some things we can work out. The big thing here is we want students to show that they have a commitment to doing journalism and to learning it and to learning how to be better. So by doing that, they're kind of just proving to us that they also want to go on these conventions and trips because we do a lot of learning on these trips. So there is opportunity for 2 trips this school year. There is a national convention trip in the fall and one in the spring. The fall usually falls in November, and the spring usually falls in April. This coming year, so the 2021 school year, we are headed to Orlando in the fall, and we are headed to Seattle in the spring. So 2 big trips that we're really excited about. We're definitely going to Orlando. So obviously any student that meets that qualification has the opportunity to join us on that trip. Just a couple of facts about the trips. They range in days from usually the convention itself is a Thursday and a Friday and a Saturday. Sometimes we head out a day early on a Wednesday, and we kind of do our touring day and fun day then. Sometimes we head out on the Thursday, but we stay an extra day on a Sunday. Just kind of depends how the school calendar goes. So we haven't necessarily nailed that down yet, but that's kind of the time frame. In terms of what you're looking at when they're there is a series of convention classes that they can choose to go to. And these classes include all kinds of skills and all kinds of tools that they can build and learn, things from design to writing to photography, web development, podcasting, leadership, PR, marketing, all kinds of options for them, and we really encourage them to dive into things that they really want to know more about. So just because they're photographers doesn't mean that they have to only take photography courses at these conventions. It's not really courses, it's 50-minute sessions is what they're called. We really want them to just kind of get a wide variety of skills and really make the most of their experience there. So that is the majority of our time. There's also some big speakers that we listen to, really cool opportunities to learn from some professionals in the field and people they may have not have had an opportunity to hear from before. And then there's some award ceremonies and things like that as well. The side of it outside of the convention sessions, really, we work really hard to plan some incredible trips for these kids. So we do not actually tell them what is on the agenda because it kind of just raises suspense and surprise and keeps us all having fun together. But I can promise you that we really do work hard to plan unique, fun things for them. So obviously the fall is in Orlando. Most of you know that there are some things in Orlando that are kind of staples. So likely those will be a part of the agenda, but we do still try to keep it as kind of sealed as we can. Obviously we'll tell parents where we're going if you guys want to know in advance, but this is kind of our special treat for the kids. In terms of cost, there's another video explaining some fundraising opportunities. These costs really range, and it's a little bit difficult to tell, but they range anywhere usually from about $500 to around $1,000. Some of the closer trips where we don't need to fly to are often cheaper because we don't need to pay for the flight. The trips to Orlando and Seattle are probably going to be a little bit on the higher side, probably closer to $1,000. We went to DC this past fall, and it was in the 900 range. Just so you guys know what that covers, those costs cover the hotel stay. They cover the transportation. They cover everything entertainment wise we do. So all the fun stuff that we do in the evening, and that extra like fun tour day, whichever day we take. And they also cover most of the meals. The only things that usually the students have to cover beyond that are their own breakfasts, and any like snacks or souvenir type things that they need. So the cost, even though when it gets to that 1,000 range, can get kind of high, and there can be some sticker shock, I think it really covers the majority of their trip. So yeah, hopefully that sounds appealing to you. Hopefully we get some of you guys to camp and joining us on these trips, because they are some pretty incredible experiences for learning and for bonding and team building.